I want you to think about that feeling. Not the one where you check your bank account and your stomach drops, forcing you to immediately close the app in horror. I'm talking about the feeling where you check your bank account and you actually smile. Where you stop calculating whether you can afford both groceries and a coffee this week, and instead feel a sense of calm, of control. The shift from that first feeling to the second is one of the most important transitions you can make in your life. But here's the secret most people miss. The magic number that triggers this change isn't $1 million or a six-figure salary. It's a much smaller, more achievable milestone. That number is $20,000. In my years of studying financial psychology, I've come to see this figure as the first major threshold that separates long-term wealth builders from those who will spend their entire lives living paycheck to paycheck. Once you cross it, the entire game changes. If you're ready to change your relationship with money, make sure you subscribe to the Money Mindset channel and give this a like. We're just getting started. Your brain switches from survival mode to growth mode. When you have little to no savings, your brain operates in what psychologists call survival mode. Every financial decision, from taking a job you hate to saying yes to things you don't want to do, is filtered through a lens of fear and scarcity. Your mental bandwidth is completely consumed by immediate threats. It's like trying to plan a vacation while your house is on fire. You simply can't think long-term. Crossing the $20,000 threshold is like putting out that fire. It gives you the mental breathing room to think differently. The core question in your mind shifts from the panicked, "How do I survive until my next paycheck?" to the empowered, "How can I grow this money?" Don't just take my word for it. Research from Vanguard shows that having just $2,000 in savings boosts a person's financial well-being by a staggering 21%. When you build a full emergency fund, which for most people lands right around that $20,000 mark, you get another 13% boost. You've moved from merely surviving to actively building. The math finally starts working for you. Building wealth from zero feels like pushing a massive boulder up a steep hill. Every inch is a struggle. But $20,000 is the point where that boulder crests the hill. Suddenly, gravity isn't your enemy anymore. It starts working in your favor. This is the power of compounding in action, and the acceleration is mind-blowing. Let's look at the numbers.
Imagine you're investing $1,000 every month and earning an average 8% return. Getting to your first $20,000 takes about 19 months of disciplined effort. But your second $20,000 only takes about 17 months. Fast forward to when your portfolio hits $400,000. At that point, the next $20,000 can be generated in just 5 months, mostly from your investment's own growth. Think about that. You're putting in the exact same effort, saving the same amount of money each month, but the timeline shrinks dramatically. The only difference is the power of scale. Your money is now doing the heavy lifting for you. But this acceleration isn't just about the numbers on a screen. It fundamentally rewires how you see the world around you. 3. You start seeing opportunities, not just threats. Before you have a solid financial cushion, every unexpected expense is a potential disaster. A car repair, a rent increase, a broken laptop. These are financial emergencies that can derail your entire life. After you cross the 20K milestone, these same events become minor inconveniences. Annoying, yes, but not catastrophic. But the bigger shift is what you start to see. Opportunities that were previously invisible or inaccessible suddenly come into focus. For instance, you can now seriously consider an investment in a friend's promising startup. Run the numbers on a rental property deal that pops up in your area. Pay for a career-building conference that your company won't cover, knowing it's an investment in your future earnings. This is the real meaning behind the old saying, money goes to money. It's not some cosmic conspiracy where the universe rewards people who already have cash. It's simply that having capital gives you options, and options create more opportunities to build even more wealth. 4. You gain a career superpower, walking away money. Living paycheck to paycheck traps you. It forces you to stay in jobs you dislike, with bosses who don't respect you because you need that next paycheck to survive. This puts you in an incredibly weak negotiating position. But $20,000 changes the entire dynamic. It becomes your walking away money. It's the fund that allows you to survive for months without a job, which fundamentally alters your relationship with work. With this psychological freedom, you can negotiate for a raise from a position of strength, not desperation. Push back on unreasonable demands without fearing the consequences. Explore other career opportunities without the anxiety of a looming financial cliff. Here's the amazing part. This is a secret superpower. Just having this money changes your demeanor. You become more confident and assertive. This confidence gets you noticed, often leading to better assignments, more recognition, and ultimately more pay. It creates a powerful positive feedback loop where financial security fuels career success, which in turn fuels greater financial security. It's a secret superpower that you hope you never have to use, but knowing it's there changes everything.
5. You stop obsessing over small expenses and focus on big wins. Here's a counterintuitive shift that happens. Once you have a solid financial foundation, you stop worrying so much about small expenses. When you're broke, you obsess over micro decisions. Should you buy the name brand cereal or the generic version? Is that daily coffee a terrible mistake? These choices consume an enormous amount of mental energy because every dollar feels precious. With $20,000 saved, you gain perspective. You realize that the difference between spending $3 on a coffee versus making it at home is maybe $1,000 per year. That's not nothing, but it's not going to make or break your financial future either. You understand that the choices that truly move the needle are the big ones: where you choose to live, what car you decide to drive, and your overall investment strategy. These are the decisions that can swing your net worth by tens of thousands of dollars. This shift is incredibly liberating. It frees up your mental energy to focus on the choices that will actually build the life you want. 6. You master the true cost of your purchases. Now, I need you to pay close attention. This next point is the most common and devastating mistake I see people make at this stage. The biggest trap when you hit $20,000 is to immediately see it as a reward and go make a large purchase. Please do not do this. That $20,000 is not a prize, it is the foundation of your entire financial future. With this foundation in place, you experience a critical mindset shift. You stop asking, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" and you start asking, "What is this really costing me in terms of opportunity?"
Let's use the most powerful example, a new car. That $30,000 car isn't just a $30,000 expense. It represents $30,000 that could have grown to over $200,000 in an investment account over 20 years. When you see it through that lens, suddenly driving a reliable used car doesn't feel like a sacrifice anymore. It feels like a strategic choice that's funding your future freedom. This perspective makes it infinitely easier to distinguish between what you want right now and what you really want for your future. From surviving to designing your life. This is a fundamental shift in perspective. If these ideas are resonating, I encourage you to subscribe to the Money Mindset channel for more content that will change your relationship with money. Ultimately, reaching the $20,000 milestone isn't about being rich. It's about fundamentally changing your psychology, your options, and the entire trajectory of your financial life. It is the critical turning point that takes you from constantly reacting to whatever life throws at you to actively designing the life you want to live. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. Trust me, they'll thank you for it.